Hey guys, welcome yet again to yet another home range poultry video. Now on today's video is going to be a bit of a technical video because on today's video I want to concentrate and show you guys how we can actually be able to fix, how you can be able to fix for yourself this equipment. So this is a hatcher. What you're seeing here, which I will take back into the machine later for you to see how it looks like. This is actually the frame for the hatcher where you put the hatching baskets. Now, today morning, I was about to come and move some eggs from the setters into the hatcher. And, you know, we always have to make sure that you run the equipment first, the hatcher first, so that, you know, you make sure it is running okay before you move the eggs into the hatcher. Now, I switch on the machine, just like we're going to do now. Power on. Then, I switch it on. I know, looks like it's fantastic. But, there was a problem. As you can see, the fan at the back there is not going round, okay? And without that circulation fan being on, there's no way you can be able to use the hatcher because it's not going to give you any production. So I have to figure out what is the problem with the circulation fan and what do we actually do to sort out the issue. So to start us off, the first thing that you always have to check is whether the switch is on, because if the switch for the fan is not on, there's no way the fan that is going to go on. And as you can see, I've switched it on and the fan is still not circulating. So that tells me that there's either a problem with the power that is going there, or there's a wiring issue, or worst case scenario, the circulation fan is actually not working. So, you know, it's burnt out and, you know, we have to replace. So let us do it together. We investigate, we find out what the problem is, and we sort it out. So the first thing before you touch any electrical works is that you make sure you switch off your machine, because you don't want to get an electrical shock. So switch on, you switch off from the controller, and you also switch off from the main power switch. Okay, and once you do that, there is a controller that is on the side here, and I did check the wiring for the controller and I can see the wiring is okay. It's not cut anywhere, so that means that there's nothing that is interfering with the current circulating through the controller. So definitely the issue cannot be the controller. But even to go further to make sure that the issue is not with the controller, what I will do is that I will disconnect these wires that go through the controller, okay, and then I will attach them directly so that now we actually bypass the controller. Now once you do that, you know, this is how you test to know whether the controller is the one that is working, is a faulty one or not. So in this case, what we've done, I've attached the two wires directly, and again, same thing, switch on the main power, switch on the controller. Now once it's on, I will come and test again the fan. Again, it's still not circulating. So obviously, the problem was not with the controller. So let us proceed again. Switch off, switch off. Now, if the problem is not with the controller, it could be the wiring at the back of this control panel. And I have to come and investigate the wires that go into the fan section or sockets. And I can see they're actually intact. So there's no problem with the wiring or the circuitry. So once that I've been able to establish that, then for certain, the only other problem that could be there is with the fan itself. It's probably burnt out. So, you know, we have to replace the fan and put in a new one. So to do that, of course, you have to remove this entire system for the hatching baskets. This frame that the hatching baskets are usually put in. You have to remove the whole thing for you to be able to access the back of the incubator, for you to be able to access the ventilation fan. With this frame being there, there's no way for you to be able to fix the machine. So I want us to check the circulating fan. We check whether at the back the circuitry is okay, and if the wires are okay, then obviously the main problem is with the main unit, and that's what we'll have to replace. And I'll take you through it on how we actually do the replacements. Good. So guys, I've just checked, and you know the wires are okay. They are going into the unit okay. So obviously we know now the problem is with the unit, and we have to actually remove the entire unit and fix it back on. So that's exactly what I'm going to do right now. So obviously, you know, if you're serious about this, you must have a pretty good toolbox with all the tools that you need for the job. So let us check at the back here. Of course, we must always confirm that the power is off. In fact, in such a case, I like even disconnecting the socket. Make sure that one is off on the controller. And good, now we can check it out. So the first thing that we need to do, we need to remove the wires that are going into the unit here. Okay, Those ones are done. Here are the 2 wires. And you know guys, you may actually wonder, what if the problem could be that power is actually not going into the unit? How do we test that there's actually power that is going into the unit? So what I usually do to test such circuitries is I've designed these what will I call it, a bulb tester. It's a bulb electrical tester. It's basically just a bulb holder on one end, and on the other end you have the open wires. So what I usually do with it is that I usually come and attach this bulb holder directly to those wires, and then I switch it on. If the bulb goes on, then that definitely tells me that there's no problem with power. Power is actually going there. So let's do that. Let's hang our wire there, and then probably even use this light bulb here. So we fix the light bulb, then we come and we fix the wires directly. Well, it's a bit too high, it can't be able to reach. So I guess I'll just hang it here, and I will show you guys whether it's working or not. Good, so let's fix the wires directly. Of course, you always have to make sure that the machine is off. Well, of course, I have to tell you that I'm not an electrician. Find an electrician to do it for you. But for me, I like to, so I come and do it myself. So I've opened up the 2 wires, I've attached them, I've made sure that they are not touching each other or touching any surface. And once we do that, all we need to do is switch on and see if this bulb is going to go on. If the bulb is going to go on, then that tells you that definitely power is reaching the unit. So the problem is the unit, that's why it's not working. So let's power it up and we test. There you go. So moment of truth. We switch on the controller. Okay, and once it is on, we switch on the button for the fan, and as you can see guys, it is going on. So obviously power is actually getting to the back of the unit. So the unit is actually not working, not because power is not getting there, but because the unit is obviously burnt out. So what I'm going to do, I'm going of course to switch it off, switch off the machine totally. And now since we know that there is no power issue, power is actually getting at the back there, we will need now to come and work on dismantling that unit and detaching it from where it is fixed, and we put in a new one. So there you go, one of the nuts. Remove the other one. This has 2 nuts. So let me show you guys so that you're actually able to see the nuts, the ones that I'm actually opening up. Fan, as you can see. And at the very back there, you can see some nuts that have actually attached the unit to the bracket at the back that is holding it onto the wall. Now that's the nut that we need to actually remove, and that's the one that I'm working on removing. So let me do that, and we have the unit out, and you could check out what the problem is, and perhaps fixing the new one. So let's remove the circulating fan, we detach it, and we can be able to check out what the problem is. Remove the bolt that is actually holding the fan in place. Make sure you return the bolt there so that it doesn't fall off and you can find it. And once you've done that, all we need to do is there you go. So as you can see, we've pulled off the entire circulating fan, and what we need to check is whether probably the fan is burnt out, but since we've actually been able to establish that power is going there and it's not working, it's obviously this unit that has a problem. The beauty about these things is that you use the same blades, you can use the exact same blades, you don't need to change the blades, but you just change this central unit, this one that actually does the the rotations. So what you're going to do, this is the unit. I have to detach this, remove the blades, and then I can replace this actual central unit. I'm just about to open up the machine. The first thing that I want to do with this controller, with this circulating fan, is remove the blades. Remove the blade. There's usually a seal that is usually down here. Now this seal is usually very important, so don't leave it. Make sure you also remove that. Go to the second blade. So the beauty about these things is they are so easy to fix. I mean, literally anyone can be able to do it, because it's just opening up bolts and all that. But of course you need to know a thing or two about electrical circuitry and all that. Good. So once you do that, I'm not going to waste time looking into that, because I know that's the one that is spoiled. So all I'm going to do is get a brand new one, and I can just replace back the blades and put it back in the machine. And once we do that, all we need to do is make sure that the wires have been affixed properly, so that we don't have any loose ends. So like this one is loose, so what we need to do is reattach it. So there you go, we've attached that wire nice and clean. So all we need to do is reattach back. We don't need to use any one of these. Now unless if that other controller has a problem, we're not likely to use this new controller, but at least you have a backup option. So let's attach back the blades. Blade. Now always realize that the blade has two sides. It has the front side and it has the back side. Now really how you'll be able to know is to see that from the front side there are grooves which you see on the front side of the blade, but at the back you realize that they've actually protruded out. You have to remember that the fan will be circulating like that, so the blade has to be put correctly. So when you place your central unit down like that, you need to make sure that now you come and reattach back the blades. Always remember when you're working on these blades, not to press them down, because once you press them down, you actually bend it, and of course once you put it in the machine you'll have issues. Perfect. And just like that, we have a new unit that is ready to be installed back into the hatcher. So guys, we are back to the hatcher again, and all that now we need to do is just fix this unit back in, and then we just see whether it's going to be working. So first we come and we have to push it in, and you have to make sure that you align the holes where the bolt that we removed is going to go in. That's very important. So you must make sure that when you're placing it, that is actually going to be flat. So in some instances, like now, I realize that it's a bit bent or the hole is a bit wide. I can just press it up with my pliers, tighten it up a little bit. That's good. Then we come and we reattach the unit. There you go, and the hole is perfectly aligned. So get your nut, take it in, make sure the hole is aligned so that it can go through. Perfect. So you realize that these bolts for the back here actually has two nuts, and it's important to replace both of them, since they actually provide a tighter grip in case one becomes loose. And yeah, once we've checked it out and you can see it's attached, before we even screw it back in tight, it is important for you to test whether the unit is working. So we're going to fix back the wires first and foremost. We test whether it's going round, and if it is, now we can tidy things up. So let's do that. Perfect. It's nice and snug. So you could test with your hand, just to make sure that the fan is not hitting any of the sides. And once we've done that, before we tighten things up, we could just give a quick test to see whether the fan is actually circulating. So let's give it a go. The wires for the controller are in. Yes, good. So we power it on there. Power on the controller. we'll let it go on. Perfect. Then now we can switch our button, and as you can see, voila, our fan is actually working. So before we go much further, we need now to tighten the nuts at the back there, the bolts there, so that it doesn't keep bouncing all over the place. Make sure your wiring is all clear from any metallic elements, and let me show you guys how it looks. So there you go, you can see I put in the two wires, the positive and the negative, and I've reattached back the two bolt and nuts that is affixing the fan onto the wall. And you know, sometimes just test it with your hand to just make sure, you know, it's running well and it's not touching any places on the sides, especially on the heating element or the body itself of the incubator. And with that, all that now we need to do is test it once again, make sure it's working, and voila, we're done. Let's just test it one more time to make sure that everything is working good. Oh, we need to reattach back. Before we switch back on, we need to reattach the controller. It's very, very important. This is the one that controls the speed of that fan. So we need to reattach it back, since we already established that, you know, it's not the problem. It doesn't have a problem. Like I said, obviously, if this one had a problem, since once you buy the new fan, it will have its own controller. You can actually go ahead and remove this one and just replace with the new one. Perfect. So once you're done with that, let's test our fan. It's always advisable to wait for the controller to go on before you switch on the switch for the fan. So power on, controller on. Of course, you can see the button for the fan is off, and there you go. So guys, you've seen we've managed to actually fix the fan. Now it's working. So let it run a bit, so that in case there are any issues that, you know, come up, we're able to sort them out. See whether it's all working all good. Yes, I think I would say, I think I'm comfortable. I'm happy. I think the machine, the fan is now working okay. Of course, you have to check out to see whether it's a bit wobbly. So let's switch it off. I think I'm comfortable with how it's working, and we've reattached at the very back there, and it's firm. And yes, it's providing the, you know, the circulation of the air inside as we require it to do. So switch it off, and just by so doing, we can put back our system for holding the trays, and we are done. We test the machine, let it run for about an hour or so, and then you can be able to determine whether it's okay or not. It's pretty easy to return back the frame for the hatching basket. It's usually just a one-man job. Perfect. So as you can see, the frame is back on. For the sensors, same thing. Return the sensors to the very top. So let's fix it back. Or not fix it, just placing it back there. And then the temperature sensor, make sure it's all nice and clean there. No residue. It's likely to give you incorrect readings. And yeah. So with that, our hatcher is fully set up. As you can see, we fixed back the sensors, both the humidity and the temperature sensor. The fan at the very back, as now I think you can appreciate better what I was saying, that you really need to remove this frame for you to be able to access the fan at the back there. Without doing that, it will be very difficult for you to fix that fan. Now unfortunately, when you buy them, they usually come with rivets which have already been drilled inside here, and you know, over time you just have to remove them so that you're able to keep, you know, removing this frame. So what I've done with mine, I've modified it so that at the very bottom there, I have bars which you just place the frame on top of those bars, and you know, you can always remove it anytime that you want. So I think the unit now is fully set up, so let's switch it on. Let's you know, close the doors and switch it on. So we've closed the doors. So what we need now to do is just fire up the equipment, power it up, and we see how it behaves. Give it an hour or so. The light does no longer now needs to be on. There you go. So let's switch on the fan. Switch on the light just to check inside whether the fan is now working okay. Yes, fantastic. As you can see, the fan has already started circulating. Now all we have to do is be patient, give it about an hour or 30 minutes, then come back and check up whether it's working okay. So guys, it's been 1 hour, and I've realized that, you know, the machine is still running okay. So once I switch on, I can see the fan is still circulating very well. There are no noises, and in fact even the temperature inside has actually maintained a very good rate as what I've set it there, and the humidity is perfect. I can literally smell some of the, you know, the heating that is going on inside the machine, and that tells you that you've done a good job. There you go. You've seen how to actually be able to repair for yourself your own hatcher, especially the circulating fan, whenever it becomes a problem. So don't throw away your machine just because it has a small problem. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. Keep watching, subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We do these and many more videos to do with poultry farming that will be able to assist you, to become a better poultry farmer and to make some money out of your business. Don't also forget that we do training once per month. Anytime you want to get details of our training, you could check out our website www.homerange.Poultry.com, or you could simply send an SMS with the word training to 0727 200 116 or 0786 942 052. Keep watching, guys.